So creating animations in Seesaw is pretty easy. There are several ways you can do it, but all of them start out by using the drawing tool. And the key is, for example, making a first slide. So I'll make one here with just a green background and maybe a blue sky by putting a little rectangle into it. Whoop, that's a little big for the sky. There we go. So then I can maybe draw a mountain or something. I want snow to fall on the mountain, so I make a few little dots up here showing it's snowing. And now I want the snow to start covering the mountain. So on the next slide, and to get the next slide, I come over here to my slides and I hit the three dots and I duplicate. So now on my second slide, I maybe add some snow here at the top so it looks like it's starting to add on. And then maybe I add a few more snowflakes. And then I duplicate again. And on this one, I add even more snow. So you can keep doing that. You can add up to 20 slides on one Seesaw assignment. But once you've done that, then you go back to the start and you record. And as you're recording, you might start telling your story. Once upon a time, there was a mountain and it was snowing on top of the mountain. It kept snowing and snowing and snowing some more. While you're listening to the recorded story, you'll hear the narration and then you'll see the animation progress because of the slide changes that were made during the recording. Once upon a time, there was a mountain and it was snowing on top of the mountain. It kept snowing and snowing and snowing some more. So you can see how it's pretty easy to do some simple animation. Another way to do animation in Seesaw can be by bringing in external pictures. For example, if a scholar is reflecting on what they've done in class this year, they might bring in a picture of your classroom to use as a background, and you might be able to stretch it out without it being too distorted. And then you can click these three dots while hovering on the picture to lock it in place so that it doesn't move when you're moving other objects on it. Then your scholar can bring in a picture of themselves, and if they have a picture of themselves, they can use a website called remove.bg to take out a background. So maybe the scholar wants to start out here in the center of the picture, and then they can do some things while recording. So let me demonstrate for you how this would work. So I'm going to start recording my story, and you'll see as I'm recording, I will move my scholar. I'll pause my recording to add another element to the story, and I can continue doing that for up to the 5-minute limit of a Seesaw recording. One thing that's important for your scholars to remember as they're recording is they need to be clicked on this hand when they're ready to move something around. I had the best year in Mr. Smith's classroom. When I first got here, we got to explore around and learn more about our room. One of the first things we got to do was talk about our favorite animals. Okay, you can see I paused the recording here so that I could bring in another picture, but it won't show me bringing this picture in the recording. And then I'm going to place it here on this table. And now I'm going to start recording again. I did my report on turtles, and it was super exciting because I was able to bring in my pet turtle, Joshua. So in this case, it takes a little planning because you have to have your pictures ready to bring in and know which tools you need. And they might have to practice recording a few times, but it's kind of fun. So let me show you what the end result of that was. I had the best year in Mr. Smith's classroom. When I first got here, we got to explore around and learn more about our room. One of the first things we got to do was talk about our favorite animals. I did my report on turtles, and it was super exciting because I was able to bring in my pet turtle, Joshua. Okay, so that's just another way that you can play with animation in Seesaw. I hope this gave you some ideas, and if this is something you want to try with your students, you will talk with your digital learning coach and they'll be happy to support you. All right, thanks.